Good morning, everyone. How are we today? It is another Friday already. Sorry to be late. Was like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I show them? What can I do? Please, if you have anything that you would like to see me do, put it in the comments below. I would really appreciate it. And before we get started, I'm just waiting for the computer to catch up. I wanted to give a shout out to Jody. Everybody, hi Dolores. Everybody tell Jody happy birthday today. It is her birthday. Alright, so looks like we're kind of straight. Okay, let's get started. Hopefully you can hear me. And we will get going. Let me just move something out of the way quickly. Alright, what are we talking about today? Well, we're talking about a little trick that I learned and that I will be doing more of in March. Okay? And today we are using a variety of things. We're using Harbor ink for the card. We are using a ruler. Some of the accessories are the Shimmer marker, Shimmer brush. Ugh, no words today. Shimmer brush and clear. The pickup tool. We have some markers here, which are Citrus Blend, Dusty Purple Blend, Blue Turquoise Blend, and Vintage Blend. Okay, so those are the markers. And then I've got a jelly roller, just in case, our new favorite friend. As always, here is the shopping site, and thank you so much for shopping. All right, and then I've got some pieces of white cardstock here. The stamp set that I'm using, today is from the core catalog, and it is Z4102, Happy Cake Day, and I just love that. And it actually has a Happy Cake Day, happy birthday, of course, may all your wishes come true, and a bunch of cake components, nice little stand, some candles. Hopefully you don't have to add too many of those candles over and over and over and over. Okay, so that's the stamp set. And then some thin cuts. All right, what did I use? These are the ones I used, and I just laid these on top because these are great. You get 3 of them, and it kind of shows you what it looks like. So you can get this, and then you can add these inside because they give you a little border. Or you can not use those at all, or you can just use these, and look, you get 3 of them at one time, passing them through your machine. Love that. This is the square window thin cut for slimline cards, which is your 3.5 by 8.5, and it is Z4104. And then I also did the circles, same thing. You can use them with or without, and this is nice because it gives you a nice little edge, and then it gives you a stitched edge, which you can see right there. And again, you have 3 of them. Use it with or without. And this one is Z4105, circle window for the slimline thin cuts. And then my new best friend, and I'll tell you why if you don't know. If you do know, put it in the comments. Who knows, maybe the first one will get a surprise. Why is this my new favorite? And it is this Dots Slimline Z3993. Okay? And I wanted to show you in the core catalog. We're always so interested in those little catalogs that are only around for 2 months, which February, this month is the last month for the January-February catalog. But in the core catalog, the paper that I'm using today is from the As You Grow, and it is on page 12 and 13. And it's a bigger paper pack than some of our other ones that only have 6 patterns, 2 of each. Okay, so this one has a lot more paper in it. It's 12 sheets instead of 6 sheets. So a lot more patterns that way. And the stamps are right, hopefully you can see that, right here on page 38. And if you don't have a core catalog and you want one, just leave me a comment and I'll get back to you, or leave me a private message. And if you don't have one and you don't want one, but you want to see the catalog, you can go online to my website, right up there, and you can click on catalogs and look through like a flip catalog. There's also recipes for all of the images. So you can go and they'll tell you what color, what stamp set, what accessories, everything that they use, what cardstock, what paper packet. Oh, and something else to note about this one and all of the stamp sets. See how it's got a little box around these that's colored? And this one doesn't? That means that there's thin cuts, but you don't have to buy the thin cuts. You can buy the stamp alone for $10.95, or you can buy it with all the thin cuts for $15.95. Oh, let me show you. What I love about this one's thin cuts is there's your cake or your candle, your stand, but then you get 2 pieces for all these different pieces here. So it's much easier to stamp out, to thin cut 2 of them at a time than 1 at a time. So that's really nice. I hope they continue to do that. Okay, next thing I wanted to show you is where the thin cuts are. And they are on page 63. So there's the circle one, which it's a little hard to see in these pictures because they're just white on white. That's why I showed you them. Here's the square one. Here's another one that I have. Here's that dot one. And then they also have a heart one. I don't have that one yet. That's next on my list. So look forward to future things, which I should have had for Valentine's, but oh well. Could be a nice Mother's Day or birthday or who knows what I think of. All right, next page I wanted to show you was the Shimmer brushes, and there's a ton of colors of Shimmer brushes, okay? And then also the gel pens are right here. And I think that's all that is. Oh, markers. I didn't find the markers. Hold on. Let's find the markers. Did I tell you what page that was? 83 for the Shimmer brushes. And the markers, sorry guys. Oh, right here on page 80 and 81. So again, for those of you that don't know, some of them are blends and some of them are shades. If it says blend, it's a lighter 3-set color. If it says shades, it's the next 3 steps down. So say these 2 markers were both red. This was a blend and this was a shade. It would be 3 colors in graduation and then the next 3 colors in graduation. So blend is your lighter, shades is your darker. Just 3 more layers of that. Oh, and I forgot what page that was. Just before this one. There we go. 80 and 81. Lots of colors, also a black and a blender one, which doesn't really, it does blend the color, but it also lifts color up. So if you got it a little too dark, you can go over it with that and it will lift the color up a little bit. Okay? All right, let's get started what we're doing today. So, what I wanted to also show you is I've been, with my markers, making a little cheat sheet. I put the marker color down, and then if I use the, let me just show you on here. Let me get this set up right. If I use the light, the medium tone, or the dark tone. So the muted brown blend using the light is closest to our shortbread cardstock. Okay? So that's why I have these markers out. And this one is, we'll start with this one, Citrus Blend. And this is closest to Lemonade. Okay? And I should have got a piece of lemonade, but oh well, I don't have a piece of lemonade. So I wanted to show you a couple of ways to do it. And you can kind of go between the light, the medium, and the dark for the lemonade. It depends on how much lemonade you have showing and how close it is. If you want, and also remember that our cardstock has 2 sides. Oh, and here's a piece of lemonade right here. So there's a darker, our color of lemonade, and then there's a lighter version, which I know you probably can't see on here, but this one is darker. Let's just fold this in half, and let's see, what can I put it on? that might show up a little better on here. So this is our strong or color of lemonade, and then this is a 30% shade lighter, and that's on the back side of the cardstock, which is kind of nice. And our cardstock has a white core, so just so you know. So I am going to take the citrus blend, and I'm just on the light color, and I'm holding it against, let's see if you can see that, against where the plastic comes out, and just dragging it along. Okay, and so you can add color on there. And then I'll go to the medium and do a little medium. And again, I'll take some still shots of this because I don't know if you'll be able to see it. And then we'll do the dark. So depending on what side of the cardstock you're using, might depend on, and I'll just make this a little bit bigger, then maybe you'll be able to see it. Oops, helps to use the right end of the pen. Okay, and the light. I'm all thumbs today, and I'm sorry about the glare and everything. Okay, there we go. So let's put this on here. Let's see. Is that a good? Let's try it on the black again. And hopefully that's not too much glare. So we've got light, medium, and dark. And hopefully you can see some of that. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is, this one has a stitched edge. So again, on the lightest color of Dusty Purple Blend gets me to Mulberry. Now, right at first, it doesn't look like it. Again, I'm just touching it to the tip of the edge of that, and kind of at an angle. So I'm not quite getting up to that line. The other thing that you can do is, if you go slowly, remember that if it's a pen that's got a lot of ink in it, it's going to bleed, so stay a little bit back from that edge of where you want it. Let's see if I can do this. Whoa. Little wiggly. Okay? So you can just go around like that, and this is the closest, or one of the ones that works well with Mulberry. Okay? Now I wanted to show you, okay, hey, you got the ruler out. What's the ruler for? Well, the ruler is for, like, just plain cardstock. Say you wanted to do a line of cardstock. One thing about your ruler, make sure you clean it off first. I cleaned this one off already, and then I'm going to use my grid line to line it up, and then I'm going to go about 1/8 of an inch, okay? And I'm just going to use this one for now, and you just run it along there. And ta-da! Isn't that cool? I was like, this is fabulous. Okay, so, and then what you want to do is just get yourself a rag or your chamois and wipe off the edge of that, okay? And it's best to kind of wipe as you go. All right, so what two colors are these going to make? These are going to be the light colors, I think. Hold on, let me check my notes. I want to make Harbor, and it's going to be dark and dark. And first is this one in dark, and then this one in dark. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take this little one, and because I don't want it to go over the edge, because I know this one's kind of juicy. Let's see. Hold on a sec. Let's get a piece of paper or something so you can see the contrast here. We'll use our mat, which is probably a good idea. All right. All-purpose mat. And then hopefully you'll be able to see that a little better. Okay? So I am going to put my ruler, which this is now slippery, so watch that. I'm going to put it just to where I can just barely see those dots. And I am going to run my first color and get in the edges here. And then I'm going to take the darker one and I'm going to go right over the top of it. And I'm probably going to do that a couple of times. Now remember, you've got to let these dry or dry them with a heat tool. And see, I've got some go on. Here, paper towel. So make sure I wipe that off and wipe off my ruler. Okay. So again, and see how I stayed just a little bit back so that way it didn't bleed over the edge. And in a minute I'll show you what happens if you do bleed over the edge. And if anybody knows that trick, put it down in the comments. Okay, so I'm just making sure that I'm just up to those lines a little bit. This marker out of the way. I'm just hitting those nuggies. And then we'll go back with the darker one. And color it. Okay. Clean up our mat. Clean up our that ruler. Put the lids on. And I won't do all of it because you get the idea. Okay. So you can go around freehand. You can use your ruler with 2 different colors. Works really nicely. You can just do one color around. And I will have some bonus projects because I only have one card done. But I also wanted to show you. This is a piece of the As You Grow. And this is a piece of this. I cut off all of the outer edge because obviously this slim line does not fit on a regular standard card. But I wanted to kind of do something of maybe a strip like this. Tell me what you think. And then this on top, or maybe even kitty corner. And then I can have one of these right there and have some words, and then I can do whatever around there too. Maybe add something else. So that's kind of a work in progress. And let me know what you think. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to show you the finished card. So since Jody is having a birthday, I thought we better make a birthday card, right? Because I showed you the stamps and stuff. So here is the card that I made. Now I used the thin cut, the whole thing. And then I put some more of the As You Grow paper behind. And then I also did, let me hold it up. Where am I? I think my computer just died on me. Okay, so I went around the edge of that circle, and I can show you that if you want, but it's the same thing. Just go real slow when you get up to the edge, and actually I'll show you what to do if you make a mistake. So I am going to take this and oh, I'm going along and oops, I went outside of the line. Can you see that right there, just a little bit? Well, if you take this marker or this gel pen and you just ever so slightly cover that up, and I really did a lot. Make a pass and let it dry. If you keep going over it, it won't fix it. But you can see there, you can probably see that it's wet. Hopefully that shows up. And that'll just take care of any little marker boo-boos. So anytime you're coloring in an image and stuff, that set of 3 pens, because there's 3 different sizes, this is the biggest one. There's a 10, an 8, and a 5, I believe. And they're great for all kinds of things. So maybe I'll do a video on how you can use these, but that's a great tip. Okay, so I colored that in the yellow. I colored this in to make mulberry, and then I used the Harbor ink to stamp everything. Colored this in, and then hopefully you can see, don't know, there's some shimmer. There's some shimmer on my dots, and there's shimmer on my cake. Oh, I should put some shimmer on those dots. Okay, so there's shimmer all the way up. Don't know if you can see it. And I should put some shimmer up there too. Here, I'll show you. Shake it up really good. Get that ball moving in there. Get that glitter coming out. Remember, I pull it from the edges, because if you push that, you're going to have a glob. You only need to push that once in a while. And then I can go and just add me some shimmer. Where else did I say? Oh, these dots, I forgot. And if you don't want to add the shimmer, you don't have to add the shimmer, but it's just that easy to add a little shimmer. Okay. And then how I got the dots. Here's my package of extra dots. I just used this leftover piece of lemonade and mulberry. I put it on my thin cut machine like so, and use this. And then you've got these perfect little sizes, and they're nice and flat for mailing, and they work great in the little containers we have. This one was full, so that's why I put it in a baggie, but there's all different kinds of little pieces in there. So these are something that you can buy out of the core catalog too. And the other thing, if you have a lot of different colors and you have some of those little baggies, you can, don't know where mine is, you can put a smaller baggie inside and have like separate out your colors. Okay, so let me know if you like the card, if you want to give it a try, and any future things that you'd like to see. Please leave me a little comment, and I will get started working on some more projects. So I will have some bonus later today, and I hope you all had fun. I hope you have a great day, a great weekend, and I will see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for hanging with me, Dolores. Bye now.